SIBO is a common problem we see in the clinic. It's an issue because of the toxicity that it causes. So what is SIBO? Well, SIBO is an overgrowth of bacteria in the small intestine, defined as over 10 to the fifth or 100,000 per centimeter. The normal growth is about 10,000, so that's about 10 times as many. And this isn't the real problem. The real problem is the way these bacteria live. They're not just floating around like plankton type bacteria, which are easy to kill. They are organized into a community, and this is a biofilm. SIBO is a form of a biofilm, and it's a big biofilm. The biofilm has a lot of advantages for the bacteria and other organisms that live in it. The main one is protection. A biofilm excretes a mucus layer over the bacteria, which protect it from the usual types of antibiotics and maybe even an herbal compound that you might use to kill off this bacteria, probiotics and things like that. They're just not very effective in this. And these biofilms can be very stable. You can have a bacterial overgrowth for years. They incorporate minerals in them, so they have structure just sort of like reinforced concrete does. So you're not going to break these. If you have an old water dish that's been sitting outside somewhere, you go out and just, you'll see that film on there. Try to just wipe it off with a washcloth or something like that. It won't come off. You have to scrub it and wash it again and scrub it again. Well, imagine one of those in your gut for maybe a year, 2 years, whatever. It's going to be very well entrenched. So in order to get rid of those, we have to break them down. And this is a step-by-step process, and it has to be done correctly or you'll get sick. Why we get sick? Well, because these organisms are excreting toxins. That's why they are so toxic to begin with. They're giving off chemicals that can make you fatigued, cause cognitive dysfunction, all kinds of things can happen from these organisms in a biofilm. The process is first to use an enzyme to break down the mucus. And we use a specific type of enzyme, a proteolytic type of enzyme, to break this down. This is not what you use to digest your food, a digestive enzyme. It's a specific type of enzyme. Now you have to give this time to work. It's sort of like you have a stain on your clothes. You put it in some soap and some stain remover on there, and you give it time to soak. The same with this enzyme. You need to give it about a 15-minute to 30-minute head start to let it do its work, and put some water in there with it and let it work on that mucous membrane in your intestine. Now these bacteria are exposed to some degree. You may not go through the whole biofilm with these enzymes, and indeed you don't want to. Then you can put some kind of a killing agent. It could be an antibiotic. I don't recommend those. They're expensive and they don't work as well as the herbals. We usually use a combination herbal that gets different strains of bacteria. They seem to work quite well. Or a single herbal like oregano seems to work quite well. And then that goes in there and that kills off that layer of exposed bacteria. So now you have a sludgy mess of dead bacteria. There's toxins being released by these dead bacteria, and you can actually get sick from this if you do it too aggressively. So the third step is to put something to clean up. So we use like charcoal, clay. You could use fiber. One of my favorite is pectisol, which is a fruit pectin. It binds these toxins up, carries them out of the body, sort of scrubs the bowel as it goes, and then you're ready to do another layer. And that's exactly how you treat these biofilms. You do them layer by layer. You don't want to do them too fast, because if you kill all these toxins real quickly, you're going to have what's called a Herxheimer's reaction, which is sort of like having the flu. It just, when it goes away, but there's no need to feel sick and have a body ache and just feel horrible, but just because you're being too aggressive. The secret is to do this in a step-by-step progression. We also increase the number of enzymes we give and the number of killing agents we give as we go along to getting more and more aggressive, so we do a deeper and deeper cleanse. It's sort of like scraping layers off. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to scrape layers off of this biofilm and do it in such a way that you don't get sick. Once you've done that, then you'll get down to sort of the base of about the normal amount of bacteria, 10 to the fourth. Then you're ready to go on to the next step. And the next step is to repair the bowel, and we'll talk about that in another video.